Hi. Well, I had a tablet, an extra tablet, and it's made the world a difference. Everything just seems better. I just want to tell you about this magazine. Have you ever had one of these magazines through the door? It's sort of like all about your local community. It's a little glossy thing which they try to localize. And it's got photographs in it, photographs of like snow scenes at this time of the year, street scenes, and little signs with says which road you're on, or picturesque scenes and stuff like that. And just inside is a little bit from the editor, and the editor always seems to be called Sue for some reason. I don't know why. And you look through the magazine, and there's a couple of articles in there normally. There was one about a choir, and the other about the WI and cupcakes, which seem to be, all the rage at the moment. Then you look at the adverts, and they got adverts for blokes who'll clean your windows with these great big long extendable things with a hose pipe stuffed up the stuffed up the back of them, and they can do it upstairs while staying on the ground, which is just as well because the state of some people's bedrooms. Fuck me. We don't like to admit it, but Jesus Christ. Anyway, I was looking through the magazine, and there was an advert in there for holistic therapy. And that seemed to involve all sorts of things. They could cure everything, they could cure some things without even fucking touching you. How the fuck, I don't know, but there we go. But the picture was very interesting. It was of a woman's feet and her legs, and either side of her feet were a couple of candles, like these aroma candles that you're supposed to put around the bath. And then there was a towel over her bum and stones in a neat line up her back. And I thought, Jesus Christ, this neighborhood, where the fuck can you get action like that? Anyway, there was this advert for a local community center, and I thought, well, I'm in this community. I don't know anybody here, not really, so let's just pop along to the community center. So I popped along on a Tuesday night, and it cost me £4 to enroll because it was tray making night, and I thought, well, let's just go for it. I've never made a tray. So there were loads and loads of people in there, and we all picked up a piece of hardboard with holes drilled all around the edges of the hardboard, that apparently for these rolls of cane that we were given, and a pair of like wire cutters to cut the cane into equal lengths to stuff up through these holes. It was going to involve some weaving, apparently. Well, we'll give it a go. Well, my tray, or my piece of hardboard, because it wasn't yet a tray, it had a picture of an Alsatian dog stuck on the front of it. Now, I think these days they call in Alsatians by different names. And in fact, from memory, the last time I saw Crufts with Claire Balding on it, she was calling them something else different. But to me, they're Alsatians, They're police dogs. And I quite like those police dogs because I've seen films of those biting the fuck out of football hooligans, which just, I think is great. They always seem to scream, as I'm sure I would. Anyway, that was it. So we were all given these things and sitting around a table, and I was looking round. And there were all sorts of people there that, there was nobody younger than me. Well, not that I don't think there was anybody younger than me. They didn't look like they were younger than me. But they were okay, and we were having a bit of a chat and a banter and stuff like that, and obviously people were cutting some of the bloody bits of cane the wrong fucking length off and all that sort of stuff, and I didn't seem to have any problems with it, although I didn't really find it stimulating. Apparently this course was going to last 3 days because it was going to get complicated, because each of these trays that have a woven handle where you put 3 wooden beads on it, and that was apparently really complicated. So that's what we were doing. And we had a break halfway through, and halfway through we were given tea in plastic beakers. Now, if you have tea in a plastic beaker, it's always fucking sour. Have you noticed that? Always fucking sour. If you put 10 sugars in it, it's fucking sour. Well, I only put 3 in, and it was still sour. Anyway, before I went back to my little table to sit round and everything like that, I went to the toilet. They got handles in the toilet, easy access handles, apparently. So when you're in the toilet, you can pull yourself off. So not a lot has changed, has it really? I went back into the room and I just looked around again as I was doing these things, and there was this guy there. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but I have. From time to time, you see an old person, and something happens to him, which I don't know what the proper name for it is, but I call it engine head. And they sort of go like, they got like this little engine going all the time. I mean, I can't even do it properly, but there's this little thing going on. And I was thinking about this poor guy. I thought, does that happen all the time? Does it happen when he's asleep? But here, I was just concerned because he had these wire cutter things, these snips. I thought, Jesus Christ, mate, you're going to get your finger off in a minute. Yeah, it's just terrible. And I thought, well, I would have laughed maybe a few years ago, but I've been trained in diversity. And I now embrace it and I understand it. And yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Anyway, as the evening was going on, the woman that was running the course was helping everybody and walking around and chatting, and she was sort of like arty-farty, if you know what I mean. You know, she had loads of silver bangles up her right arm, almost to the elbow, but you know, I'm probably exaggerating there, but they were clanking, and they were just clanking about the place. And I just thought, Christ, you go into any action with her, I mean, you know, use your left hand, love, I can't stand the fucking noise. And she had one of these skirts on, these long sort of ethnic skirts. It wasn't exactly tie-dye, but they were in these ethnic colours of browns and reds and oranges and golds, and they sort of blended into one, and there were tassels around the edge of it, well, around the bottom of it, and it went right down to her ankles, just about. I checked that out. She wasn't wearing Dr. Martens, so she wasn't diverse. And she was chatting away and stuff like that. She was a little bit touchy-feely, which is fine. And there was just a lot of jive talk going on, and I tend to answer back in situations like that. And then she said, "You never made a tray before, have you?" I went, "No, I haven't." I said, "I haven't even fucking got a tray. To be quite honest, if I wanted a fucking tray, I go to Poundland. You know? I've not been to Poundland to get a tray. I still haven't got a fucking tray." And she laughed. She thought I was a funny answer. And then, do you know what she said to me? "I bet you were hot when you were younger." Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. What do you mean? I'm fucking still hot. I'm still hot. Yeah. It just takes longer to get to the fucking boil.